Welcome to my level 40 Corrupting Fever Scion Ascendant. This is one of those builds where you get a cool item you may not have thought was possible, or just simply an item that spiked your interest to build around, which leads you to ignore all logical reasoning and methodical planning behind you as a thing of the past. Thoughts will begin to cross your mind about viability and questions of, is it really worth doing? And as a man of focus and determination, you push those thoughts out. You will build a character around this item, no matter the cost, no matter the pain. Don't look at me acting like I'm the crazy one here. Okay, I'm sure you found yourself in a similar circumstance before. I mean, what kind of exile is still sane anyways? For myself, that particular item was a +4 socketed gem level honor home. The gold standard for gem levels. Previously, I had dreamed of double corrupting one of these puppies and getting myself a fancy +8 gem level helmet. Of course, this is never something that would happen because corrupting items successfully is just not in my talent tree. But thankfully, somebody out there with the RNG from the heavens corrupted a glimpse of a chaos helmet, which can possess a +2 socketed gem corruption, and it can turn into an honor home with a +2 roll. The stars had aligned, and this generous individual listed it for only 3x. A bargain I could not turn down. Now with this helmet I had always dreamed of in hand, I had to build around it. I had no choice. And so the theory crafting began. Do I want a big RF circle? Oh yeah, that's real tempting. Do I want a large ice nova? Yeah, that could be fun. Do I build around the new Corrupting Fever, which doesn't have a lot of scaling available to it and seems to have been designed as a supporting DPS for a main skill anyways? Yeah, I think I'll end up doing that. That's what I chose. And it technically is working well enough to do all the content, but it's nothing super flashy or overpowered DPS wise. And with this one-of-a-kind helmet and 20 to 30x of investment elsewhere I put into it, I really can't recommend it. The results and the price tag just don't cut it in my opinion to be worth it. But I will include a PUB in the description for those curious. The character is using Ball Lightning as a delivery system for Corrupting Fever, while scaling defensive layers like Glancing Blows block and high spell and attack dodge plus Wind Dancer, some healthy life gain on hit from Watcher's Eye. I could have added in Fortify with Whirling Blades, but with the mitigation layers already in the build, I felt it wasn't really necessary, as I wasn't really dying much to begin with. The build felt pretty forced to grab clusters as well, which were costly, but damage couldn't be scaled much without them in my opinion. Now why do I believe this is just a mediocre build for the investment? There are two main reasons. First off, Corrupting Fever doesn't have a lot of options for scaling. It can only be scaled by a few sources, like increased generic physical damage, damage over time increases, and damage over time multiplier, compared to other physical dots like Bleed or Exsanguinate, for example, which can come built in with extra multipliers like faster dealing bleeds, Exsanguinate being able to be scaled by spell multipliers, not to mention it has limited gem support options available for it. So there are these things out of the gate which put it inherently behind DPS wise compared to other physical dot skills. I believe this is probably designed this way because it's intended that Corrupting Fever would only be used as a supporting damage, not necessarily meant to be a build in of its own. Now as for the second reason, I've always had an interest in pushing gem levels to the maximum. Level 40 has been the new cap on gem levels for a while, and it is generally very hard to reach. Unfortunately, it's usually not the correct play to push gem levels this high, and why is that? It's because the gem level scaling becomes worse after level 30. The gem level scaling for the majority of spell skills is 10% more damage than the previous level from level 20 to 30. Then from 30 to 40, it goes down to like 5% usually, which this means a lot of the times that forcing extra levels past 30 is going to be less efficient than other options out there. The opportunity cost is usually too high. For example, we are forcing in this helmet, which gives us availability for a lot of gem levels, but it's at the cost of 2 support gem links in a chest piece, which we could have plus levels on it as well. Now quickly I'll walk you through how we get to gem level 40. We start at level 21, we get 6 levels from 2 cold iron points, 2 levels from our amulet, 8 levels from our helmet. Now keep in mind the helmet looks like it only gives 4 levels, but it's also leveling up our empower 4 times, hence giving another 4, so it's 8 in total, and then 3 from a level 4 in power. You add that all up and it takes us straight to level 40, the maximum. Oh, it's beautiful, it's pretty. It may not be powerful or overpowered, but it does look good. All in all, it was a fun project to make a build, scaling gem levels. If you guys have any crazy ideas for something neat to scale gem levels, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Next project on the agenda is going to be 100% mind over matter for 100% uptime. Now, if you're wondering how this is somewhat achieved, I'd recommend checking out Wolfio's video, which will be in the description below, where he goes over how you get some crazy mind over matter effect thanks to the focus mod. But we're going to be taking it to the maximum extent if we can stack enough CDR, which I think is possible. We'll see. I'm not even sure this is going to work out well enough, but I'm excited to try because it could open a doorway to use Divine Flesh with Chaos Inoculation, a combination that would just be a death sentence generally. But with 100% mind over matter, it becomes feasible. Thanks as always for watching the video. I appreciate all of you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace out, guys. Have a good one.